Right, I'd like to welcome my guest this evening. He's manager of the Barrow AFC Community Trust and he's also part of David Dunn's coaching team. Welcome, Craig Rutherford.
Hi, Tony. You okay?
Yeah, fine, Craig. Just letting you know, mate, that you're the first participant on Zoom on CandoFM. So we'll get you a little badge, mate, so you can you can wear it when you go training with the lads.
Brilliant.
And the other thing I've been advised, Craig, is that today is International Men's Day. Does that mean anything to you?
No. Well, hopefully it's based around men talking to each other and sharing feelings and being brave enough to do that. So,
yeah, absolutely. Right, Craig. So you are the community manager at Barrow AFC. Can you just give us and the listeners a view of a typical day, week, with your roles and responsibilities at the club?
Yeah, no problem. Quite long weeks, as you could probably imagine, with the work that we deliver. We deliver quite a lot of work within school environment, so between 9 and sort of 3:30, and then after school clubs. But then we also, before COVID anyway, we're delivering quite a lot of evening and weekend programs. So thankfully, I've got a great team around me that I manage. So I manage a group of coaches. So we share the delivery out. But your typical day for me as the manager, I'll be in the office catching up on emails, speaking to partners who are involved with the projects that we deliver, looking at funding bids for new projects, looking at our school programme. And then today, for example, I've got the delight of speaking to you first this morning. And then I'm off to St Bernard's later in the morning to deliver a literacy project, something we've developed, linking it to sports journalism. And then in the afternoon, I'm working one-to-one with the people up at St Bernard's about setting goals and trying to achieve goals. So everything I've said there, there's been no football coaching involved, has there? But we do deliver a lot of football coaching, involved with Furness College, teaching their sports students, coaching them twice a week. I have the performance centre that I'm assistant head of youth of. So yeah, it's a hectic week, but for me, I'm a local lad and I'm doing a job where I get to give back to the town. So it's very rewarding, even though it can be quite hard work sometimes. I feel I'm in a privileged position to be able to help other people within the role I've got.
Wow. Yeah, that sounds fantastic, Craig. So when you said you go to St Bernard's, for example, this afternoon, is that purely in the classroom, as you say, or is there any sport involved?
So with the literacy project, there will be some sport involved. What we're trying to do is show the pupils that the skills they're learning with the teachers with regards to literacy can be used in the real world. So we're coming in, we're working with the students on sports journalism, so newspaper reporting, commentating and interview techniques. And then tomorrow, actually...
I have to come myself, mate.
Tomorrow they're going to be playing their own little match within the school, and then other pupils will have those roles. So a couple of pupils will be commentating on the game as it takes place. I'll have 2 coaches coming up with me who will manage each team, and then some interviewers will interview them before the game and after the game. And then we'll have some newspaper reporters who will make notes on the action, and then they'll produce a match report. So what we're trying to do is kind of bring those skills to life. So we've covered newspaper reporting on Monday, we covered interviewing yesterday, and we're covering commentating today. And I'm very lucky to have Adam Johnson coming up to support me, who's the Barrow commentator.
Yes,
Adam. He's coming along to share his expertise with the pupils. So we're looking forward to that today.
Right, so you've been going to St Bernard's all this week?
All this week, yeah.
Wow. So what, is it one particular class?
Yeah, it's a year 8 group. So it's basically just to kind of show them a different way to learn literacy. And as I've already said, it shows them that the skills they're learning in the classroom, how those skills are then transferred into real life. And what career opportunities are there.
So it's not a 5-minute G. You can't just turn up and wing it, can you, Craig? I mean, sounds to me as if there's a hell of a lot of planning involved in that.
There's lots of planning, and like every project, you've got to plan it so that you know that the project you're going to deliver is going to make a difference in the local community. So, as I say, it's a case of I've had to speak to people like Adam, who do that as a job. and find out then how I can then transfer that over to younger pupils.
And is this like a sort of guiding curriculum that overarches all of this that you have to sort of adhere to, or is it just something that you can sort of develop off your own back?
I think with us being we're more or less a sports coaching, company, but
yeah,
I've got a past experience in working in education from when I worked at Victoria Academy. So I did work one-to-one with children who sometimes found it difficult within a classroom, working on the conventional literacy maths. So for me, I kind of thought how we can support schools and think a little bit out the box with how we can deliver literacy and maths. So we created the literacy project. It was last year, actually, using funding from the National League Trust when we were in that league. And then that's developed into a package now that St. Bernard's have kind of bought into to give that group a week off normal timetable and experience something a little bit different, but still kind of learning literacy skills.
Right. And I'm assuming that you do cover all the schools, do you, in the Furness area? Is it like junior schools?
Many that will have us in, yeah. Obviously, COVID's impacted us quite hard, especially the two lockdowns, the one where the schools closed, and this one where I certainly don't envy head teachers at the moment working their way through this. But some schools have just totally cut any external visitors.
Right.
So that all our provisions stopped. Some schools have kept us in as they feel that we are part of their curriculum with the stuff that we deliver. So it's been really difficult. Just as an example for it, we delivered around 48 to 50 sessions a week in school, including PE, literacy, after school clubs with the staff we've got. We're now down to around 6 in these current circumstances. So it's been quite difficult. But as I said, the literacy project and stuff, it gives you a little bit of focus and it gets you out delivering and seeing people. So it's been great for me, really.
So normally you do 50 a week?
Yeah, 50 sessions a week. Yeah, each PE lesson lasts around an hour. And as I said, we've got a good team of coaches who are out there delivering. So
it's not just you, Craig, it's you and a team, is it? How many's in the team?
To be honest, I'm more office-based than the rest of the team. Because obviously I've got to manage everything and bring everything together. So the things that I'm more experienced in are the educational projects. So we've delivered a few things in the past with regards to numeracy, literacy, health and well-being. So I get to deliver those ones. And then my team of coaches are out delivering PE in local schools and after school clubs and things like that. So my job's a lot more office-based than the normal coaches. So it's took a bit of getting used to that, but...
Yeah, I know what you mean. So do you ever get the chance to invite any of the players or David Dunn as a special treat or something? Or?
But yeah, it's funny you said that. We're just in the middle now of we've been promoted. We have to have player ambassadors because we link with the EFL Trust and the PFA now. I'm speaking to the lads at the moment. Obviously, it's difficult with the players not training in Barrow and how far away the players live. So we're trying to work out the best way to do it. Be speaking to a few of the lads, and we're going to try and get some Zoom calls going with young people, with schools, with our young performance centre players. And then once football and things can resume back to some form of normality, then yeah, the manager and the players are really supportive of coming to visit local schools when they're here.
Now, I believe when we were having a little chat before we came on air, so to speak, Craig, there's a couple of projects that you're keen to promote. Yeah,
so as I said, it's been quite difficult sort of delivering our normal routine of subjects and projects, but we have managed to work closely with the local council, with INS, who have sponsored our Free Fit and Focus programme, which has more or less been ensured we can support local families by providing free activities during the holidays. So Monday to Friday, 9 o'clock till 3, children have been able to come and stay active, socialise with other children, learn kind of personal skills like teamwork, build their own confidence. So that's a programme we're looking to continue in December, leading up to Christmas, provide that free provision for families and ensure that children can still engage with other children, socialise while learning new things and staying active. We're just about to launch a project called Barrow United, The food bank, the local food bank, do amazing work within the town, providing families with resources that they couldn't necessarily access normally. So a local pupil who's only 8 years old, called Joshua Hewson, he's been watching Marcus Rashford and seeing what Marcus has been doing for children around the country. And he wanted to set up something where we could support local children. So we've spoken to the food bank, and their vision's the same as ours, really, how it's better to work collaboratively than try and reinvent the wheel all the time. So Joshua's project, Barrow United, is getting local schools on board to donate food items to create some Christmas hampers. And then we'll deliver those Christmas hampers to the food bank, and then the food bank will deliver them to the families that need them. And we're really proud to be involved in it, and we're looking forward to getting it going over these next couple of weeks.
Well, yeah, that's fantastic project, that, Craig. So, say all the best of luck with that, and I'm sure that some of the listeners will want to get involved as well. So, yeah, absolutely fantastic stuff. Now, I'm sure the listeners are a little bit interested, Craig, in actually how the team are getting on now in League Two. And I believe that recently they moved training facilities, and one of the reasons given was to do with the playing surface. Apparently, the new facilities in Knutsford, I believe, are a lot better in terms of the playing surface, and that's helped the team sort of adapt to how they play on a Saturday. Would that be correct?
Yeah, definitely. Hotwood have been brilliant over the last few years with providing their facilities, but at the end of the day, it was a college. It was a working college. We were sharing it with Rochdale's Development Centre and the college itself. So the pitches, especially over the winter, were probably getting churned up a bit too much, and maintenance on it wasn't as much as we'd have liked it to be. So the move to Knutsford, the pitches aren't used as often. They're very, very well taken care of. I've been up a few times and delivered on them. They're excellent pitches. So they fit well with David's philosophies and how he wants the team to play. And it now allows the team to train as they are playing. So it allows them to train as they play, which I think since the move, we've definitely seen our performances improve, which I think throughout the season we'll then see our results continue to improve.
So as part of your busy schedule, Craig, you also have to go to Knutsford occasionally, is that correct?
Yeah, so I said mainly in the office Monday to Thursday, doing my main role with the community, and then Fridays and Saturdays, I'm very, very lucky and privileged to be able to experience working within the first team environment and watching and learning from David and Rob. So away games, if we've got to travel sort of to London and those areas, we'll travel on the Friday. So we'll train Friday morning and then travel through Friday.
So
stay over.
Sorry, just taking last week as an example then, Craig, Cambridge United away.
Yeah.
So you had to leave Barrow Friday, did you?
Yeah, Friday morning, 6 o'clock in the morning, myself and Ryan Sutherland left Barrow. So we take all the kit and equipment through. What, in a car? In the van. We have a community van.
All right.
Bodding around town. Yeah, we've got a community van. So we take all the equipment in there. We train in the morning, and then once the players have trained and had the lunch, we'll then set off to the hotel.
Right, so you travel to somewhere, in the Manchester area or something, or?
Travel to Knutsford, we travel to the training ground.
Ah, right, and the coach sets off from there?
Yeah, we can leave the van there and then go from there.
So in the van, is the, I'm getting a bit detailed here, but is the kit in the van?
Yeah, the kit's in the van, yeah.
Oh, so you have to get the kit and everything, do you?
Yeah, so first team coach and then kit man.
So 1 minute you're on the touchline telling the team what to do, and the next minute you're ironing the shirts. Is that?
Yeah, I won't go that far.
No.
Ryan does do a fantastic job of making sure all the kit and everything's ready, and then I'm more or less Ryan's driver to make sure it all gets there.
So then you get to Knutsford, you get on a bus, and then you go to Cambridge.
Yeah.
And what time do you get there about?
Usually around kind of 4:30, 5 o'clock.
Right, so you're not going to do any training when you get there, are you?
No, because we trained in the morning. So training in the morning is kind of used to loosen the legs off, get them moving, ready for the trip, and then David will work on a little bit of shape and a little bit of set pieces to prepare them. Nothing too heavy, nothing too strenuous, because obviously we've got the game in the morning.
So I'm assuming you'll have a meal together in the evening in the hotel?
Yeah, we have a meal in the hotel together, yeah. Sometimes we have a video on the evening.
Right.
Other times we'll have it in the morning before pre-match.
A video of what? A previous game, or?
You're looking at how the opposition play,
right.
How we feel we can get at the opposition, and where we feel their weaknesses are that we can exploit. Yeah.
So it goes into that much detail.
Brilliant.
Even at League Two.
Yeah, I mean, to be fair, even in the National League we did that.
Right.
When we stayed in the hotels and we did the same video footage and everything. So, from my point of view, it's a great learning experience, seeing the detail that the managers go into, and how everything links to how the lads train and how they play. Yeah, it's really good.
So you get up Saturday morning.
Yeah.
What do you do? Bit of breakfast, go for a stroll or something?
Yeah, we have a bit of a morning walk with the team and the group. And then when we get back from the walk, we go into the video. And then we have a bit of a pre-match meal as well later on before we set off to the ground.
Was there a little bit of, I don't know, fee is the right word, but Cambridge were second, weren't they? Still are.
No, there was more confidence, really. I think everyone in the first team setup know what the team are capable of. David's very confident in his approach and how he thinks the game should be played. And hopefully the supporters are starting to see how David wants the team to play. Because against Cambridge especially, David and Rob were really confident in how we could get at Cambridge using our passing style and breaking lines with passes and getting players in pockets of space. And anyone who watched the game, I think you saw that. We were by far the better team. We were punished for a mistake again. But the lads showed great resilience to keep at it, keep the belief in the system and the way we play. And we got our reward at the end, which is the least we deserved, really, because we all believe that we deserve to win that game.
So you played 12 games now, Craig. I think you've won a couple.
Yeah.
You've drawn 6.
Yeah.
And you've lost 4, I think. I think that's the record at the moment. So obviously very frustrating drawing 6 games, isn't it? And I think you were saying to me before that when David Dunn had a spell with COVID-19, didn't you take charge of the Bolton Wanderers game at home?
Yeah, I wouldn't say I took charge. I supported Josh Lillis, the goalkeeper coach. He took charge and I supported him. And then there was the Harrogate game as well, where Sam Hurd and myself ran that. But even on that, I had my headphones in with my phone, and the gaffer was on the phone constantly throughout both games, supporting us.
Oh, was he?
All the preparation had been done. Yeah. He'd done all the preparation remotely with the videos and stuff like that. So.
What was he watching on iFollow or something?
Yeah, he was watching on iFollow, which was interesting. He was about a minute and a half behind us with the stream. So
he was saying things and you saying, "Oh, you're a bit late there, Dave. They just scored."
it was quite difficult, to be fair. Obviously, with him being that far behind, and then, but it was great for me. Again, it was another experience. It was a massive learning curve for me. The lads were really professional and great, and obviously Sam and Josh have been brilliant in carrying on the work that Rob and the gaffer.
So just paint the picture here then, Craig. It's Bolton Wanderers at home. Your old gaffer Ian Everett walks in the ground and in the changing rooms. Did you speak to him?
Yeah, I've got a great relationship with Ian and Peter Atherton and Lewis, who were part of the team here. They're the ones who gave me that opportunity to work within the first team. And then thankfully David and Rob have kept me around and allowed me to continue my learning journey. So I've got nothing but fond memories of those and what they did for me. But on the day, it's a game of football. We've got to be professional. We've got to take that away from it and concentrate on trying to win the game for Barrow, because that's what we want.
What was his demeanour then? Was he a little bit strange for him coming back to Holker Street?
No, I think he enjoyed coming back. He's obviously got fond memories of being here and what he did for us. But he's moved on now. He's gone on to pastures new. In his eyes, it's a step up for him. I don't think you can argue with Bolton's facilities, the ground, the training facilities they've got. It is a Premier League club.
Oh, definitely. Yeah.
At the moment. So, it's down to Ian now to try and turn that around. But, we wanted to concentrate on us. Carry on the work that David and Rob have been doing, and and we started so well in regards to doing that, but we all know how it ended. So
I watched it. I couldn't believe it. You're 2-0 up and in total control in the first 30 minutes, and then let Bolton in a little bit. But towards the end, I think we gave away a foul on the edge of the box. I think something like that. And there was about a minute left of the game, and I spoke to myself and I said, they're going to score here. And it happens a lot, doesn't it, Craig? And they did. How did you feel when that? I mean, you must have been gutted, but
yeah, it was. It was hard to put into words, really, because it was so late in the game, so close to getting our first league win for 48 years to have it snatched. But it was what it was. It happened. I think the lads have responded really well since that game.
Well, it's been a definite improvement, hasn't there?
Definitely, yeah. And I think, like I said, that improvement's definitely come with, one, the training ground move, but two, we're starting to see now David's philosophy on the team and how he wants them to play. And I think it's, if we can keep cutting out these little mistakes that we keep seem to be getting punished by, I think you'll see us start to go on an upward curve. So
I think this is only my personal opinion, Craig, but I watched Scott Quigley quite a lot over last season. He's a physical presence, isn't he? And I just felt from watching the early games this season that they were missing him big time.
Yeah, I think Dior's led the line really well as well. Dior brings us pace, and he gets in behind and runs off defenders to create space for our midfielders. So they do bring two different things to the team. But it's a case of getting Scott fully fit and getting Scott fully on board with how the gaffer's playing. And as soon as we do that, and the likes of Dior and Luke James and players like that, I think you'll start to see improvements within results, because I do think there's been massive improvements in performances. We just need the results to.
Yeah, I think the supporters are recognising, actually, and I do myself, and I can be a critic. I'm more of a rugby league watcher, but I do enjoy watching Barrow, and I have watched them on iFollow. I think that service is fabulous, by the way. And I do feel as if they are beginning to just turn the corner. I just get that feeling that consolidation, if that's the right word, is possible.
Yeah, it's a brand new league. It's a new level. It's more or less a new team as well, if you think about it. The players that David's had to bring in, and then he's had to gel those players to get the team spirit up there and get the morale there, and then get them all to buy into what he wants to do. And I think we are starting to see that now, which can only be positive, really.
So you've been close to both those guys, Craig, Ian Everett, David Dunn. What's the difference between the two? What's the biggest difference?
I don't think there's huge differences, to be honest. They both see the game that it should be played in the right way, and it's just a case of the coaching styles are a little bit different, and the backgrounds are a little bit different. So for me as a coach, it's great. Being selfish, it's great for me to experience those two different managers and learn from them both, and that'll have an impact on my philosophy and my approach to coaching as I kind of climb the coaching ladder, if you will, because there will be a point where I've got to get out on my own and forge my own pathway. But at the moment, I need to make the most of this opportunity that I've got, learn as much as I can, and then take that into when the time's right for me to push myself into a coaching role at whatever level that might be. I've just got to try and forge my own pathway, because it's what I want to do long term. I want to be involved in coaching at the highest level I can. So if
an opportunity came up at some point, Craig, in the professional ranks, or even, at a non-league level, you would seriously consider taking on that role, would you?
Oh yeah, I mean, ideally, I'd love to go full time with Barrow, but unfortunately, that's not available at the moment with restrictions and finances and stuff. So I understand that. I'm just very sort of privileged to be able to do what I'm doing with the first team. But yeah, if an opportunity came along, I'm doing my UEFA B at the moment. So once I get through that qualification, that opens up a couple of more doors for me. So yeah, I can't say where I'm going to be in the next 2-3 years, but I've just got to enjoy the time that I'm having now, learn as much as I can, and just see if I can contribute in any way possible. So
Absolutely. And as you said, it's difficult times at the moment, Craig. Just a question that's been sort of swirling around in my small brain is, do you guys have to have COVID testing every week? I mean, is that part of the conditions of playing League Two football?
There is regular testing, yeah. It's like you say, it's getting used to this new normal. So, yeah, we have to have testing quite regularly. At training, there's got to be strict COVID protocols in place. So at the training facility, there's only around 5-6 players allowed in a dressing room. So each group of players have got their own dressing rooms, staff have their own dressing room, and then the management dressing room. So there's one-way systems involved in going out to the pitches, coming back in. Obviously, no gathering in big groups for a long period of time away from the training ground. So yeah, and then obviously with Ryan's role up there as his football operations manager, he just makes sure everything runs smoothly at training. So yeah, it's very, very different to the norm.
Yeah, because the FA Cup tie, obviously, against the AFC Wimbledon the other week, that was postponed because their team had an outbreak of COVID, wasn't it?
Yeah. I think that's going to happen until
the vaccine.
Until it may be a vaccine, or until we get on top of the virus a lot more. I mean, as a team, we've had our own COVID cases, haven't we? And we've had to deal with that, with players isolating and the management team isolating as well. So I think it's just one of them things at the moment that you've got to keep doing. I mean, even with our schoolwork with the community, we've got to make sure coaches have their own cleaning products. They have their own masks when they go into where they're delivering. Everything they're delivering socially distanced. So it's a word that we don't always like, is it? But it's the norm at the moment, which is we've got to. But as long if it means that we still get to play football and we still get to compete, then we've got to do it.
Yeah, I suppose when David Dunn came back, Craig, you all sort of standing about 10 foot from him, were you?
Yeah, no, he was all right. And I feel for David in a way because he's not been able to really ride the wave of the success that we've had. So he's not been able to share that with the fans and
precisely
first league game with the fans. And they make a big difference at games, especially home games. Backs are against the wall. They do get behind the team, and David's not experienced that yet, which is really unfortunate for him. But him and Rob and the team are both doing a great job.
Yeah, it's a bit like the Bolton game there, Craig, isn't it? I mean, if that had been an ordinary evening, Bolton would have brought 3,000 or 4,000, I'm sure. There'd have been 8 to 10,000 in there, wouldn't there?
Yeah, and our fans would have, they'd have helped us get through that and go on to win it with their support and their encouragement. So hopefully we can have them back in very soon, and David and the staff and the players can experience a Barrow crowd, especially the away support. The away support's phenomenal, but I can't see away supporters being allowed to games anytime soon. So that's really disappointing.
Right. Well, look, thanks very much, Craig. It's been great talking to you, mate. You're doing a fantastic job with the community projects that you're involved with. I know that you're very passionate about coaching, and I can tell that you really want to get some sort of opportunity at some point in the future, and I'm sure you will. You're that sort of guy, and I just wish you all the best, mate, and thanks for coming on CandoFM.
Oh, no, thanks for having me. I really appreciate you having me. Thanks for the kind words. Much appreciated. Cheers, Tony.
Yeah, cheers, Craig.